Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the weekly review. It's Sean and Rock. I am Sean Keenan Torres, and of course, I'm doing along with.
And it's your boy Rock and Mike. How we doing today? How we alive
Man,
today? How you living?
hey, you know what? I'm living pretty good. It's another day above ground. I got a little damage in the yard, but I'm still above ground. And our thoughts are also to our Florida neighbors down below us. Our thoughts
Yes,
are with you.
they should know better though, because I've been in Tampa 11 years, and it's just like we've had some scares, but the
Oh, so
casino.
you saying you know better? So you stayed just like I stayed. If that thing would have hit us, we both would have been sunk.
Nah, I
So
know, but
yeah,
like
no, you're not smarter than that.
there's a
We all
rumor.
without the same thing.
There's a rumor about the Native American burial grounds, and people don't realize that's true because there's no way in hell a hurricane is gonna hit the Hard Rock Casino. It just doesn't happen, man. If you want to survive any natural disaster, live next to a casino.
Oh
Trust
my
me, you
goodness,
say.
we had. I'm
I'm just
my
kidding.
neighbor and I had a long conversation about the Hard Rock and how people went there and the fact that it's in a valley and that's why everything goes past it. But who knows if I'm right? That's just some
Right.
ideas I threw out there. But before we jump into today's show, I went ahead and introduce our guest today, Dr. Kennie Ellis. Uh, Dr. Kennie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Wow, Doc, you
Thanks
got
for being here.
are those you got a gorgeous smile. Like, oh my goodness, I got Invisalign, and I'm about to call my dentist right now. Be like, yo, listen, we need to cancel the contract because Dr. Kenny, whoever she goes
Right,
to,
so kind.
obviously, yeah, must be like a doctor connection. Like, hey, look, I need this done. Like, oh yeah, we got you.
Is there a doctor connection? I think there might be a doctor because most doctors I've seen, I don't think I've seen any doctors really have some messed up teeth. I
I mean,
mean,
well,
think
usually
about
you
it.
want to try and make sure you take care of yourself so that people will listen
Yeah,
to
yeah.
you.
Imagine going to surgery. The what you call is kicking in. You going to sleep. You look at their teeth like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, time out, time out, sir. No, I'm fine. I don't need the surgery. Your teeth are crooked. I'm sorry.
Exactly. But I'm a doctor of pharmacy, not of medicine, just to clarify. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
But
So
still
obviously,
same
yeah,
difference,
good.
medical profession.
yeah. It's still
Okay.
hey, it's still a medical profession. You still keep people above ground. That's what I call it.
There you go.
All right. So, but with that being said, so the reason why Dr. Kenny's here is she has an event that she has came up with and started herself. If you want to go ahead and tell us the name of the event, because I've butchered the name and I don't want to butcher it the first time I say
Okay,
it.
sure. The name of the event is Arutisuse Run. It is a 5K event. It's going to be held here in Tampa, Florida. The live event is the December the 17th, and there's a virtual component as well, and that's from December the 17th through the 31st. Now, Arutisuse, it is how you say arise in the foundational Black American Tut language. And let's discuss a little bit about Tutnese first.
Okay.
Tut language is short for Tutnese. And Tutnese was used by our African ancestors or foundational Black Americans who were enslaved. And they would use it as a way to communicate. As we know, it was forbidden for slaves to learn how to write and read.
Right.
So Tutnese is a ingenious method that our ancestors used to teach each other how to write, how to read and write. And they will often use it during at times when they didn't want slave masters to know that they were communicating with each other, or if police were around, they would use Tutnese, and it would just sound like gibberish. No one would know what they were talking about. It was a very secret language. So that's why we use Tutnese. Now, about the holiday, what Arutisuse holiday is actually December the 24th.
Okay.
The reason that we're celebrating Arutisuse is because during the Christmas holiday, a lot of the plantations and slave masters, they will have more relaxed rules so that slaves could visit, or Africans or foundational Black Americans who have been enslaved could visit their family members on
Hmm.
different plantations. And so they were clever enough and brave enough to use this as a time to escape from bondage. They took advantage of that opportunity.
Okay.
And also, during the holiday, we're celebrating all of the different the revolts, the slave revolts that occurred in the United States, specifically in the United States, primarily the Black Seminole Maroon War, which was the longest and the longest slave revolt. Well, it's considered a slave revolt now because we know during that period they were trying to enslave or re-enslave Africans or Maroons or foundational Black Americans. So, and during this holiday, we share our history, and a key component of the holiday is to actually give a book to
Okay.
a book.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Any book?
Yeah.
Basically, you want to give something that's inspirational, something that's in regards to history, something to help someone better themselves or their situation.
Okay.
Okay.
In short, that is the holiday.
Okay. Now, how did you like? What inspired you to get involved in that? Was it just something you always wanted to do, or was it just, a word of mouth thing, or
how'd you come up with it?
Okay, sure. Well, actually, I did not come up with the holiday. Tariq Nasheed, he is an author, a historian, a producer, a musician.
Oh, wow.
He's very talented. He wears a lot of different hats. And he's the author and the producer of the movies series Hidden Colors, Buck Breaking, 1904, the story about the Haitian Revolution.
okay.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with any of those, but he's done a lot of historical documentaries. And so he came up with the holiday, just as, people say, oh, how can you just make up a holiday? Well, all holidays are made up. And so,
Right.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. So, we can make up our own holiday. There are other holidays, but we can't necessarily connect with them as much as we can connect with our own foundational Black America holiday, where we can share our revolutionaries and our culture. Now, how I came about to actually make the event or the run is because I will often participate in different runs. I would run a 5K almost every weekend if I could.
Kudos to that.
Whoa, you put me to shame.
Is there art?
No, I like to do it. Yeah, like for a while I would do like 2 miles on my lunch break.
2 miles
on a lunch break.
That's because you're a doctor. That's
exactly. Yeah.
You make your
that's what most people do for their whole workout, and that's our lunch. That's our lunch break.
Yeah. So but I mean, now it's taking away a lot of time getting ready for this event, so I can't do it as often. But how I came to start the event, like I was saying, I would participate in all these other different runs, Christmas run. They have runs for everything. And most of the time when people have something that's valuable to their culture, I noticed that all of these other groups, they will have a run to go along with it. And I'm saying to myself, this is our holiday. And I always try and, find a way that something that I can do to contribute to the culture, or something that I can do to contribute. And this is one of the ways that, I thought that I could really make an impact, try and bring people together and celebrate the holiday nationwide. So, as soon as I heard the call go out for it, I said, this is something that I have to do.
Wow.
Okay. How long did it take you to get this from start? I'm not saying you're finished, but from start to where you are now.
Oh, okay.
How long?
Yeah, well, I started in February. I think the call went out. I say the call went out, but he just stated that we were going to have a holiday. And for me, that meant, it's time to do something.
Yeah.
So
what can we do to compete with Christmas?
Yeah, I think the call went out around the end of December or January. And around February is when I really kicked things into high gear, got the permits, all of those kind of things. And, here we are now. We're 2 months out now. So really excited.
This is the inaugural, I'm not going to say the only, this is the inaugural.
Right.
Yeah, this is the first annual. Yes.
Yeah.
So have you guys had any, because with social media, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because it's very easy to spread, words and stuff like that. But a lot of stuff gets lost in the shuffle just because of the volume of posts and stuff like that. So did you guys have like a, I guess, you could say a quota or a number of people that you wanted to reach out to? Because this is the first time I heard of this, and this is something that I mean, I hate running, I'll be honest with you, I'm terrible at it, but this would be something I'd love to do, and spread the word to some of my friends who are a little bit more on the endurance side, I guess, when it comes to athletics. But he's
being kind of modest here, but we also we involve ourselves with a heart walk.
Yeah,
I have a medical condition, so we participate in that every year, and so we've done other things. So he's being a little modest here, but go ahead and keep saying what you're saying.
Yeah, but has it been difficult to get the word out in such short time, I guess?
Well, I guess being that it is a new event and I'm not really known for this, so it's more so of gaining the trust of the family, just gaining the trust of the community. And
Right.
So I knew that was going to be something I would have to start early, like I said, I started in February to and just show people that it is happening. And also the event is a build. So we're discussing diet and nutrition. We're discussing exercise. We're discussing diseases that impact our communities, such as diabetes, colorectal cancer, high blood pressure, asthma. Those are all things that we're discussing. So as we build up to this, the event, making sure that we're prepared, making sure that we're, healthy, making sure that we know our history, that we're prepared mentally and physically for the Arutisuse Run journey.
Okay, that's really good.
I mean, you've done a lot in a short amount of time.
I mean that's starting in just February. You already got it running. And most people those take like a couple years, and so we salute you for that. That's amazing to get done in such a small amount of time. Could you, when I was reading about the Arutisuse Run, I almost said it right. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Hey, at least I attempted. You haven't even attempted it at one time. At least I'm willing to make the attempt. Not even close. But when I was reading the website, which you can find at runsignup.com, one of the phrase in there kind of caught me. What does, or could you kind of explain without giving away the good part, what does time travel through periods of resistance mean?
Oh, that is referring to discussing the different revolts that happen.
Okay.
In the United States. So it's just to go into a little bit more detail, but when you're referring to time travel, you're specifically referring to what events or what's going to be going on.
I'll read the full passage here real quick. During the course of the Arutisuse Run, participants will time travel through different periods of resistance, culminating in a festive welcome at the finish line.
Okay, sure. All right. So we were fortunate enough and so thankful that the Harmony Winds are going to open. It is a gospel singing group here in Tampa, Florida. Okay. They're very, well known. They're going to open the event with the National Negro Anthem, "Lift Every Voice and Sing."
Okay.
So that's one point portion of our history that's going to be there. Also, we will have different mile markers that will. Have you ever been to a race and seen like mile 1, mile 2, mile 3?
Yes.
I did a virtual marathon, and obviously it didn't have that, but I know exactly what you mean. I've seen people run marathons.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we are going to have those as historical reference points to the times in our history regarding revolutions or our icons, our heroes. Those are going to be tributes to them. So you made it this far, keep going.
Right.
So that's what those mile markers are meant to do, and to give you a point of reference from where you are now, like where we are now in history, along our journey, along the road that we're traveling. Those mile markers do the same for us as well.
Well, that's the case. This race needs to be at least 200 miles.
I know. I mean,
You know what I
at
mean? Like,
least
okay,
200
let's
miles.
see.
I
Where do
mean,
we
and that's only cutting
where
it
do
in
we start?
half. And I
we
mean,
we
you
have to
got a
start
lot.
somewhere.
Exactly. Let's just see. So with everything that's going on, and like I said, you've done a lot in such a short period of time. Do you think so? Well, let me just backtrack. So, me personally, I don't know if you know this, or maybe I don't know if you looked this up beforehand, but I I've done like the 20 not 23andMe, the ancestry.com, the DNA whatever, where you're from and your roots. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but my father is he's Eritrean, which is like East African, okay? He came here in the early 80s, from
Okay.
they were fighting war, stuff like that. And me and Sean have had this discussion before, but even with this run and the knowledge, sometimes I feel like the big drawback of African Americans or Black people, whatever you want to call it in general, is a lot of times we're unfamiliar with our ancestry and our history. You know what I mean? So it's I hate sometimes when I hear Sean will say, "Hey, Sirach," if Sean asks me, "Hey, Sirach, where you from?" Or like, what are you? That's a typical question. If you ask one of my Caucasian friends, "What are you?" "Oh, well, I'm 10% Irish, 4% German." You know what I mean? Like, they can break it down for you. You ask me, "Hey, I'm half Eritrean. My mom's blah 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 blah." But sometimes I get frustrated
But
when
if you
I
reverse that question, if it was Surratt was to ask me up until recently, I would have no answer for him.
right,
So I
I
think
don't
that's
want to
what
hear
he's
like,
alluding to.
"Hey, we're from Georgia." Like, no, that's
Yeah.
that. What I mean, like, and do you feel like there? I mean, I know you do, but in the future of this run, do you feel like it'd help if more African Americans actually took the next step and truly figured out like where they're from, where their roots come from? Because this is some I didn't even know about this. This is some great stuff, some great knowledge that a lot of people don't know about. And I know this is the first year, but I honestly think that if this keeps going on and gain some momentum, I think it'd be a huge help. And I assume you agree as well.
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't
thank
even
you
think that was a
for.
question, by the way. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
was just
yeah. No,
talking.
no. Thank you for that question. So first, I will say I would refer to myself as foundational Black American because
Okay.
African American is a very general term.
Right.
Elon Musk is considered an African American.
Oh yeah, he's South
Charlize
African.
Theron is considered an African American. So, and as I said before, people will say, "How can you name yourself African American?" African American. Well, we were named that. So just like we were named that, we can name ourselves foundational
Mhm.
Black American, which is a more accurate description
Mhm.
of the Black people that are indigenous to this land. And
Okay.
so now moving, your question was about the history. Okay. So unfortunately, which was very terrible, due to slavery, a lot of us were stripped of our humanity, our ancestors were. And some of the Africans who were already here, some of the native people who were already here were black
Mhm.
skinned people, as dark as I am.
Mhm.
And then we had people that came from Africa as well.
Mhm.
Now, when those populations mixed, that was the foundational Black American. And
Mhm.
also, there was no America before we built it. So we are native to this land and it is ours. There was no America before we built it. So I'm a foundational Black American. And now, a lot of us are revisiting our ancestry and learning about it. So, as to your point, I do think that is extremely important, that we do know. Once you know who you are, you have a stronger sense of self. And once
Yeah.
you know who you are, no one can tell you who you are. I know who I am. And that's something that you can tell your children as well. And they can
Mhm.
have a sense of pride in knowing that we did not begin with slavery, which is what, a lot of our children are led to believe, and that
Right.
we were already here. So this land is ours. So
Exactly. Wow, that was a great answer. I got it.
thank you.
I'm glad we're recording this because I'm gonna use that just to get in the future. It's like see video at the 20-minute mark.
So you were saying that this is a build up event that you building up to the event, and you name a few issues, health issues that you're basically shining a spotlight on. So my question really is, how hard is it, in your opinion, and and in your role as a doctor, is it people to pay attention to their health before or even after a medical event has occurred, to come and talk to you about, oh, this is my meds, this is what I have, is this right? Does that actually happen very often?
Um, that is a very good question. I guess seeing it like from different populations, I guess the group that the population that you're around, I guess so. But what I'm seeing now is that more people are wanting to learn. There's a desire to learn and to become more informed about a lot of different things, cryptocurrency, real estate, whatever. Just everything. People want to learn. People want to better themselves. And at this point, we're in a critical state. At this point, we're in a critical state. It's either do or die. So,
Right.
and I think most people are waking up and realizing that, hey, we need to do, or we're gonna die. So,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, like what? Oh, go ahead, Sean.
To kind of follow on with that, and also to kind of carry in from what we're just discussing, how much of an influence can a person's family really have on their health choices, do you think? Because coming from where we come from, there's a lot of people in our families that are very overweight, severely overweight,
Right.
because as they call it, is that southern cooking, that soul food cooking, and it's not good for you. It's what it is. It's a staple, but it's not good for you. So we come from that. How much of an influence can a family have on an individual trying to make those type of choices?
I think a very large influence, of course, because how you're raised is what you eat, what your family eats. So your family is going to be a big contributing factor to how you live your life. And until you're exposed to something else, or until you just want to know something else,
Right.
you're pretty much going to do what you see the people around you do. So I do think it's very impactful.
What do you think would be the best, like, I guess you can say generation breaker when it comes to health? Not, and I'm not saying like, the urge to want to do better, but what is something that, can, I guess you can say, can appeal to a broader audience? You know what I mean? And I know that we have the athlete side of things. We have these professional athletes, NBA players, football players, whatever, who are at the peak physical position, great health, obviously have the money for it. But like, what is something besides the desire that you think would help a lot of the communities that suffer with, obesity or diabetes, or, whatever else disease that specifically, hurts not only Black people, but minorities in general?
Okay. I think more people who are, and I won't necessarily say stars or athletes or whatever, because it's not really up to them
Right.
to lead things, but more people who are, just grassroots people, everyday people who have the knowledge, who can get out there and help, who have platforms, even if it may not be, you may not have 1,000 people on your friends list or whatever,
Right.
but what you do have, you can share. Where you can share what you have and what you know. And I think if everyone shared a little, it will grow. So, I mean, the desire to learn, to eat better, to live healthy, I think it will grow.
Exactly. I do too, actually. And
Yeah.
I'm not the best
What?
either, but
And I will say this too. Since certain, okay, I would say certain social media personalities have made it popular to, tell women, hey, you need exercise. Hey, you need to get in shape. Hey, and not
yeah,
I
Instagram
think it
models.
kind of put fire, because there was a point in time where everybody was thick.
Yeah,
Everybody,
that was the cool thing. Supposedly,
Yeah,
you're
somehow,
not
everybody
thick
was
at all.
somehow.
Like,
thick.
oh god, like
And
Yeah.
and I'm not body shaming anyone. I'm not trying to
right,
make fun of that. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is the goal should, be to be your best. And whatever that looks like for you, when you eat healthy and you exercise, then that is your best. You only can be the best version of yourself. Everybody's not going to be a supermodel body type. Everybody's not gonna metabolize food the same way, but when you exercise and you do the best you can, you honor what the creator gave you.
Do
you have an opinion about what habits are hardest to break that
Oh my
could help
God.
facilitate?
Oh, snap.
Probably smoking.
I think I'm losing my battery, you all. I'll be back on.
We can still see you. You're fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it just died on her.
Oh, it just died.
It's all right. Well, yeah,
it's
I think
okay.
it just died.
I tell you what, charge yours. Me and Charles will keep going. Charge your battery. It's okay.
It's going right back. It's no
problem. That's a great frozen photo, by the way.
I mean, she's got a great smile. I mean,
got a great smile, right? Like, God, like, I need to call Brandon Mack right now and just be like, "Yo, oh, I didn't mean to put his name out there. I need to call. Wait. I need to call John or somebody, John Smith, and you'd be like, "Yo, I need veneers or something like that." She had a beautiful smile. But like, let's continue the conversation on. So, what do you think is, in your opinion, at least, what do you think is one of the worst habits as far as, and we'll keep it with the black thing. What do you think is the worst habit as far as nutrition?
So I mean, that's why I posed her the question, because obviously I spend a lot of time with nutrition. It's kind of the funny. You spend more time on exercise. I spend more time on nutrition than most. And I just had this conversation with a guy who's trying to quit smoking. Matter of fact, yesterday, and smoking is one of them. Smoking is a big factor, especially the menthol cigarettes for us. But it's more so breaking the habit of the soul food cooking or the soul food eating.
But it tastes so good.
It does taste good. It tastes great.
So
don't get me wrong. But we got to get to a point where it's not an every Sunday thing or an every week thing. It's got to be like what they always say, in moderation. So it's got to be something that you do once in a while, once a month, once or twice a month, but not every week, because that's just too much cholesterol going to people who look like us bodies, because we can't take it. Our bodies just can't.
Would you ever sign up, say in the future, if there was a program to where it'd be like, all right, like you would no longer go grocery shopping. Like you couldn't go to a grocery store, right? Food would just be delivered. It'd be delivery service.
But it has to be whatever you supposed to get.
And it would be based off of like your health pretty much. And you couldn't, there was no way you could get around it. Would you sign up for something like that?
Okay, because I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna pose that same question back to you. So remember when I first moved here to Tampa, I was still on the orange eating plan. I still, for the most part of my diet, I still am on the orange on the orange plan, which is a very strict eating plan. There's no meat.
What they have you eat?
There's no meat, no high cholesterol, any type of foods. Any foods that have like above a certain number is out. No foods that have a sodium content of over 200, which you think.
Do you measure that, or they do it for you?
No, we measure that. Yeah, we had to. You're spending hours in the grocery store looking at cans, going, "Oh, can't eat you." Picking up a bag of potato chips. Okay, and let me speak about potato chips. There's only one brand, not even brand. There's only one potato chip that passed the course.
It probably tastes like trash.
Actually, no, it's good. It's Hickory brand baked, which can't even find the baked one anymore. But Hickory brand. I know this is the only baked chip I've ever liked in my entire life, man, and I've had plenty of them. Hickory brand baked barbecue chips. It's the only ones that pass the orange eating plan.
Yeah, but then you eat through like 8 bags of them. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, whatever. I guess I should eat 20 of these stupid sodium things.
But see, and that's I guess I consider myself a big chip eater. I don't know, but I'm not like huge. I guess I'm more of a give me fruits, give me something fruit to eat. That's always more my thing. Fruit or protein. I used to eat a whole lot of jerky, but obviously I don't now, but I used to. So that was my two little staples, was fruit and jerky. That's what got me through the military. I mean, through the army, especially when we're deployed. But I'm gonna pose the same question to you though. I know that I could deal with that plan because I've done it before. That's the only reason I know I could.
Okay.
Could you? Do you
just be like on a strict?
You could only have say 4 pounds of meat a week. So that's
a month. I'm like, bro, what? 4 pounds of meat a month? I'm gonna die. But, I think I could.
And you think you could?
I think my deal is the time. The time it takes to cook. So I do well in any type of meal prep service. You know what I mean?
Ah,
Like I actually was doing it for a little bit. I had a buddy. I gave him a few shout outs like last year and stuff like that
oh
at
yeah,
a
yeah,
Nutrition Factory. Yeah, yeah, over on Hillsboro. But he's a good friend of
yeah,
mine.
yeah. Yeah,
I stopped doing it.
he's got delivery thing going now
He
too though.
might I don't know he actually is getting married and he just had a baby, so congrats to him on his child. But
Congratulations.
yeah, I mean, like, it's a convenience thing for me, I would say, and a time thing. So I could eat even the most healthiest non delicious stuff if it's already made and ready to go. The thing is, it's really quick for us to just hop on Uber Eats and deliver this, deliver
Yes,
that,
yes.
especially at 11 o'clock at night where the only thing available is, tacos and cheeseburgers, and you got to go with that. But
Yeah, and
just
when you're only feeding one or two people,
right,
going to the
r-
grocery store is actually more expensive
right,
than just ordering out. It's like, oh, I can just Uber Eats and it's here, and it's I can spend $40 on Uber and get what hot cooked meal, or I can go to the grocery store and spend 60 and still have to come home
60.
cook the meal.
Cook the meal.
Cook the
Half the
meal.
stuff I don't even cook in time, and it
I've already
expires.
used. Yeah, I've already went and got gas and came back. So that throw the gas cost in there too.
Exactly.
It's
It's like fast food was like one of the best things to happen to this country, and also one of the absolute worst things to happen. It's like
well,
you can't
yeah.
be picky, convenient or health, And the
I mean,
healthy fast food is super
it's
expensive. Who wants to pay
I
$20
know
for some rabbit food?
exactly, exactly. Like, why is a salad? And don't get me wrong, this Greek salad's
Yeah,
great, but why is a salad costing me $15.99? And that was before inflation. So I know it's even more now.
exactly. I went
All
to
right,
Oh, she's back. I can't even see it. Go
she's
ahead.
back.
I went to Taco Dirty the other day. There we go.
Thank thank you, Colin.
Hey,
I
thanks,
thank you.
appreciate it.
I'm so sorry, you all. I
It's all
Oh,
apologize.
right.
it's all right.
Hey, it happens. Charge it happens. All right. So wait, but you don't do explain what type of doctor you are again, so I know to avoid that, just in case you don't have
I'm
your
a
charger with
pharmacist.
you.
I'm doctor of
Pharmacist.
pharmacy.
Hey, I'm here to pick up my prescription. Hello, is anybody? Hello. Is anybody there? I'm a, yeah, the pharmacy closed. I guess I don't know. I'm just messing.
Right.
I'm messing.
So while you were going, me and Sarah, I don't know if you could hear us or not, but we were discussing actually a question I was about to ask you about breaking habits and choices. And I said, I threw out smoking and soul food. I thought soul food is one of the hardest habits that we do that we need to break ourselves from, to actually for people that look like us to start eating better. What do you think is one of the hardest habits to break?
I do believe diet is very important. Diet is key. So I would agree with that. And the exercise component as well. Just staying active.
Mhm. What I hit the gym quite often, but I've been an athlete majority of my life. I ran track in high school, I ran track in college, so I have that kind of like ingrained in me on how to stay fit, and not only how to stay fit, but wanting to stay fit. And a lot of times I'll get questions asked as far as like what do I do to stay fit? And my big thing is always, or excuse me, what should I do to do this or lose weight? Yada yada yada. And my number one go to is try to get rid of one bad thing, like one bad habit. Maybe it's cookies, maybe it's soda, maybe it's, candy, whatever it may be. And that's usually how I started. You coming from, a pharmacist standpoint, and you see a lot more, drugs being handed out than obviously I do, and a lot more people with more complicated situations. What would be like your like advice, a friendly advice, if one of your friends came up like, hey, I was wondering, what do you think I should do to lose 10 pounds or something like that?
I definitely diet, like we said before, and also exercise. For me, I'm extreme. How you're saying, cut out one thing here.
Cut
I
out
have a
one
kind of like
thing.
extreme personality. I just like
I
I'm
haven't
just
eaten in 2 weeks.
eating
Oh God.
raw vegetables. I'm like, I want it. I want it to happen now. Okay, that's would be the approach that I would take. But I realize everyone is not going to do it the way that I do it. But
Right.
I would definitely say, try and eat more fruits and vegetables.
probably, and I guess it depends on their health conditions, if they have any health conditions as well that
Right.
actually impact what they can eat. But just as a general rule, I would say, focus more on um, fruits, vegetables, more of like a Mediterranean diet,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and try and stay away from, like the fats, the breads, like all the carbohydrates. A lot of people do, say they're fine or whatever, and especially a lot of runners, they, eat pastas, carbohydrate bread, things like that. But I still try and stay, away from it as much as I
Okay.
can.
Yeah.
You hear that,
I
Sean?
avoid.
Did you
Oh,
write that? Did you
hey,
write that down?
you wait. Why are you talking to me when you're the one who eats
I,
bread more than I do? I don't even
yeah,
eat
but
bread. You eat bread.
I exercise. That's the
So do I. I don't have a gut. You. So what? What you got?
So where does that mentality come from? Because like I said, you remind me a lot of my I have an older sister, and I'm surprised she's actually not watching and texting me at the same time, but she is very like how do I say, like, very independent, very achieving, very, go, 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 go. Not extreme to the point where I'd be concerned, but similar mentality about how she, I guess, goes about her life and how she approaches goals. Like, where does that for you? Where does that stem from? From family? From an experience? From siblings? Or
I would say part of it is probably due to experience.
okay,
And well, in regards to athleticism, my father, he was, a boxer, and he trained.
oh,
He trained. He was a
I
professional for a
apologize for
little
everything I said. By the way.
yeah, so he did that for a while, and I would always, watch him do road work, or he would go running with his fighters, and I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. Can I go? No, you can't go. And I would always want to go, but I'm a girl, and of course he's not gonna let me go running with the guys. But once I was able to, go running, I went off to college, found a group of people who were running, and I had a passion for it. But in regards to just having the drive, I think it will start when I was younger. Um, as a lot of children experience certain situations in school that are unfortunate, I was actually placed in the special learning disabilities class.
What?
When I was younger, I was in SLD, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, but
Oh,
they
yep.
used to
Yes,
call
I
it the
am.
boom boom class, where they would take
Yes,
kids,
that's exactly what you used to
certain
call it.
children, and separate them from the other kids, pull
Right.
you apart and say, oh, these
All
kids
right.
need
Come
a
on, you
little bit.
guys. Where we
And it was
going?
very embarrassing. And it was very embarrassing, very humiliating. And I'm
Mhm.
not saying there's anything wrong with, children who do need that extra help or a little bit more of attention. But
Mhm.
I didn't need it. And the way that it was done was, like I said, was just very humiliating. And it
Right.
always made me want to try and do more. And I knew that I was more. And then, fortunate for me, I had a great teacher, Miss Beverly Lane. She actually pulled my mother to the side, pulled some of the staff in the school to the side, and was like, "Why is she in SLD classes? She doesn't need to be here."
Right.
And so
Yeah,
she really
yeah.
made a difference in my life, and I will always remember her for that. But that had I not had that experience, maybe I would not,
Have
try and
better.
work so hard, have that extra drive. So
Is
Yeah,
that? Would you consider her like
yeah.
a mentor?
yeah, she's definitely someone who showed a strong liking to me, wanting me to succeed and do well. So I will always remember her for that.
Now,
That's good.
I was, the reason I asked that because I feel like it's very important, especially for, our community, for there should be more mentors than there are professional athletes. I think the importance of a older, whether it's you know, a male or female, doesn't matter, to kind of like be able to recognize like paths for children, especially children, because like, you know, I can remember when I was a child, and like luckily, I can look back and almost see the two different paths I could have took. You know what I mean? I could see, luckily with Facebook, you could still keep track of, friends from high school and grade school. You can kind of just every now and then you take a peek at their lives. And I'm saying they have terrible lives or anything like that, but you almost can see the road that
Some
you
of them are in
almost
jail though.
yeah, but you can see the road that you almost went down, or they almost went down, or maybe the good roads. And I think it's very important for everyone to have some sort of mentor or try to be a mentor. And you had one, but do you have any children or maybe young adults that are not troubled, but that you're kind of helping out and guided at all?
Well, unfortunately, not at this time. With
Mhm.
all the things that are going on with the race and,
Mhm.
getting ready to start a business, I don't really have and I have I have two children. I have a 21-year-old and I have a 7-year-old. There's a big gap there. So, trying to do all
And they
these
both keep you
things.
busy.
Yeah. Well, my son, he's an adult, but your children always need you. So,
Right.
so,
I've
but,
got two the
so
same age, around the same age, so I get it.
yeah, so just maintaining all that, I at this point I don't feel like I would be able to give a the individual mentor or mentee
Right.
the attention that they need. But however, what I am trying to do is live by an example. And I have
Okay. Yeah.
mentors that I watch that they don't even know that I'm watching, but just people that I watch and I take little pearls from, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what this person is doing. Okay, I can learn from that. I take that little pearl. So I have all
Mhm.
these different people that are like, I call them my virtual mentors, and I follow them. And I use the internet for to serve me. I follow things that are positive, things that can help me. So I try to be that person that someone can look to and say, okay, I go to this page. She's talking about eating healthy. There's no arguing. There's just always something positive. Let me focus on the positive. Then you're talking about eating healthy. You're talking about exercising. You're talking about family. You're talking
Mhm.
about being armed. You're talking about all these different things that are positive. Professionalism, education, history, learning about
Mhm.
your culture. So even if I'm not able to physically mentor, maybe I can be a virtual mentor for someone also.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
that's good.
Virtual, I like that.
So, so mentoring, that's great. That's fantastic. To be honest with you, my son, he had a mentor, helping him with how to build computers, basically. Like I did it a little bit, but this
It's-
guy was actually
we
computer.
hand it
This
off to
guy
the
was actually computer.
professionals.
Exactly, right. Computer engineer, not so much.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. So I know when to hand it off. So I appreciate all that you guys do to reach out and to help anybody else. And I myself have mentors, so I get it. Um, so this kind of seems like it was kind of made for you. Kind of made for you. It involves running. It's activism. It's kind of like a ball rope into one. How did being active, not exercise wise, but in activism, activating you? How did you come about
Oh, now
deciding
you're
that
gonna
you
make me
want to do
cry. Every
it?
time I
That's
think
all
about
right.
this, I cry. I'm not gonna cry though. I'm not gonna cry. So I follow a lot of the media. That is a lot of the online media, which a lot of us refer to it as the new black media, because you have your traditional media, but then there is a media that's online, an online apparatus. And I always think
Mhm.
about what can I do to give back. And I would try and give back financially, as far as donating to different causes that people may have. I try and donate with my money. But like I said, I have a daughter, I'm busy,
Right.
I work. I'm not as knowledgeable about history as, other people. I'm not as not knowledgeable about politics as other people, but this is something that I can do. And the information that I do know, I've learned enough so that I can, come to your platform and share that with you while still um, hosting this event and also honoring our ancestors. Because for me, it's more so about them. I just say that, and when I exercise, when I'm working out, just in what I do, I say, please just help me to be the best vessel that I can be, so that you can use me to get the message out, get the word out, and to honor you. Like you said, a lot of us don't know our history. So please use me to be a vessel to give whatever I need to give to the people.
That's really good. That's
that's
great.
amazing. I can't. My screen is kind of small, so I can't see if I see any tears or anything like that.
No, I'm not
We
crying. So I'm not gonna
we got
cry.
a tear alert going on just in case. No,
Yeah.
that is amazing. Like, I guess what like sparked all this? You know,
And
like I mean, it
also,
sounds like you had a great life. You had a great, growing up. You know, you're smart. You're educated. You're a
well, thank
doctor. Like,
you.
what sparked like this? Kind of where we're at now, I guess.
I feel like I'm supposed to be someone that's used in this way. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm here for. Not necessarily for the race, but to be used as a vessel, as a conduit to help my community. And that's what I'm doing. And with the Arutisuse, I'm doing it to the best of my ability. And also one thing I forgot that I did not mention before that just came to me. When we think of the word arise, we're thinking of, arise, like arise to the challenge, arise to the occasion. And this is something I keep in the back of my mind also when I'm exercising, when I'm working, and just everything that I'm doing in regards to the Arutisuse Run, the Arutisuse holiday. The basis of the holiday is celebrating our ancestors who escaped bondage.
Right.
Just to think of how brave they had to be to do this, with the consequence, severe consequences of death. Maybe someone would kill your family. You didn't know if you had people that were traitors. You didn't even know if you could make it. You didn't know, like you don't know what's going on. Just
you know how
brave. Yeah, how brave these people, our ancestors, had to be to do this. And you think about the preparation every day. Okay, is this my opportunity? Am I going to be able to go today? Or when the opportunity arises, hey, I just have to take it. I may not be able to get it again. So I try and think of it as, hey, you always want to be your best. We're working out so that we can get to that point, so we can all run together and be on the same frequency during the holiday. But however, you always want to be your best, because you never know when you're going to have that opportunity. So as they say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So that's
true.
one thing. And what better way to culminate the Arutisuse holiday for me, in my mind, is with a run. Like you're literally running to escape bondage. You're running to freedom.
God,
So,
I'm glad I'm live now, because back then I'm so man.
Hey,
people,
I'm gonna tell you right now, I probably would have tripped you up and just kept him.
That was your diet. I'd be gold. What happened? He get caught? No, he had a heart attack halfway through.
Kidding. Wait, I'm sorry. You weigh more than me, so you're definitely gonna be slower anyway.
Yeah, we'll see.
Wait, I'm sorry. I want to serve in the army. Oh, wait, this guy.
So what would be, like I said, this is the first one, but
yes.
I don't want to get too far into the future, but I don't know, I'll just throw a number out there. 5 years. Like where do you want to see this going? Like after, I mean, obviously I want it to be forever, which I believe it will, but let's put a timeline. Like, do you want it to be 5 years from now? Maybe, obviously more people involved, but maybe some local schools like USF. I mean, they're huge, public university. You have UCF, you have, I don't know if they have any historical Black colleges around Tampa, but like, would that be a doable goal, I guess?
Well, if other people would like to join, that's perfectly fine. But however, the focus and the direction of the event will always remain with the grassroots.
Okay.
So that's first and foremost. And as far as the Arutisuse Run event growing, when you think of Arutisuse Run, I want people to think of determination, resilience, education, spirituality, family, and the right to defend yourself. So when you think of Arutisuse Run, that's what I want you to think of. and ways that it will grow is, hopefully, people will take on to doing their own different events, maybe not necessarily a run, but maybe just other events that people do during holidays,
Right.
maybe a history session, maybe some movies, or other different things that will go along with that.
Okay.
All
I
right.
agree. Okay.
All right. I only have 2 final questions before I go into
Sure.
Florida. So
We always start with 2 final. Trust me, it'll be like 10.
yeah.
All right, go ahead. Go with your 2.
No, but,
Count
yeah, I got 2. He may have like 50 and lost count. But anyway, so my last question is, for people who don't run or just getting into running, do you have any tips or any advice for someone that's starting out, or maybe even has a medical condition that may prevent them from just going out there and running full speed, day one? You have any
Okay.
tips or ideas for them?
Sure. First off, I'll start with the person who has a medical condition. Anyone who has serious medical conditions that would probably pose a complication, consult with your doctor before before you engage in any kind of physical activity. You're not,
not
they're
responsible
not
if you.
Yeah.
All right. So, and also, I would say definitely make sure you stretch. Start slow. Always, focus on your breathing. Don't try and go a long distance initially, because that can lead to shin splints.
Yep.
Those kind of things. So, and
Had a lot
definitely
of
make sure you
those in the military.
stretch. Eat healthy. Drink water. Those are some of the tips that I would give. So.
Yeah, I had so many shin splints when I was in the Army because I hate to run too. Oh my God, I hate to run.
My bottom is heavy though. The thing, like my waist down is heavy, and it's like I'm just dragging my legs. And listen, I'm a sprinter. I'm more of a sprinter than a endurance runner. So it's very difficult for me to just be like, okay, I'll just run 5 miles. Like it's just not gonna happen.
I mean,
Too hot.
Yeah.
I'm too tired.
I've done it, but I did it because I was ordered to do it, and I didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah, now you put something behind me. Listen, if you we backtrack 600 years, and I'm on a plantation, and somebody chasing me. Oh, I could probably go 20 miles.
You'll move.
Yeah, I'm not tired then. All right, so what's your second question, Shaw? Because I do have one more.
Yeah, my last question is kind of hopefully doesn't pour water on the whole thing, but I just want to ask your opinion. Without going into the political aspect of this, please don't. Kanye West has just been putting out stuff over last week that's just been ridiculous. Have you seen any of it? And if you have, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I saw his shirt that said "White Lives Matter," and of course, I do think that it is his right to say wherever he wants to say. And then I also think it is the right of the public to support or not support him after that. So.
Yeah, he's
I mean, Candace Owens joined in with him, so I mean, it is what it is. But thank you.
Well, that's the company that he wants to keep. Well,
for now, we'll see.
And thank you for keeping that non-political for us. I appreciate
exactly.
That.
Mine's a little bit more simpler. Well, I guess you could say simpler, but
pretty simple.
I guess what do you want? What do you want to leave the people with? I mean, I know we're doing an interview, but like, what would be your mission statement right now as far as, what do you want people to know? You could say whatever you want. There's no rules to this, but in your life right now, what's, not necessarily most important, but what, if you had a chance to speak to a huge audience, say on a national televised audience, what would you tell them about what's going on with you and what you're looking to accomplish?
All right. So,
sorry, I know that was kind of that was kind of like a president, like a.
And you said it was going to be easier than mine.
Mr. Obama, what do you think about this? Like, oh, gosh.
All right, I'm not sure if I heard 2 questions or 1, but I thought you said, "What would I say to?" Did I have any words of wisdom?
How about I'll say this? Let the people know what you got going on, and what do you want them to know?
Okay, sure. All right, so Arutisuse Run is being hosted by Nyan Pharmacy. And Nyan Pharmacy is my organization right now. There's no physical location, but we do provide drug and health information on a lot of the conditions that impact our community that we stated before. And I want to Arutisuse Run, and the information is the build up to it is a way or a gesture to show the community how much we care, how much I care, and that it's not just about the money. Really here to help people, help the community. And Nyan comes from the word Nyan Sapo.
Okay.
And what Nyan Sapo means, it's ingenuity, creativity, and just basically keeping everything that you have and moving forward with it, wisdom. And I try to use those principles in everything that I do, everything that I learn, everything that I experience. I take it with me and I try and use it towards helping the betterment of my community. And I would advise everyone else to do the same.
That was beautiful. Hell,
Yeah,
you said
that
you was
was
about to
amazing,
cry. I'm about
yeah.
to drop a tear.
Yeah.
I can't say something in my eyes.
I mean, I would say it's a lot, but you know, he cries over everything.
Hey, listen,
Just saying.
I'm the one that's gonna be at the run. Look, when's
All
December
right.
22nd, right?
The live event is December the 17th.
17th. Okay.
It's December the 17th at 7:30 a.m. at
Ooh,
Al Lopez
you didn't
Park.
say that.
I'll be at the run. He won't be at the run. I'll be there.
I'm gonna get it.
Yes, and it's at Al Lopez Park.
And when do we have to? Is there a sign up or a deadline to sign
Yeah,
up?
there's a registration is open now. It's on Run Sign Up, and you can register on Run Sign Up, and also if you go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, there is the Arutisuse Run, and if you click on any one of those links, it'll take you directly to the registration sign up. So
Okay,
and
we'll go ahead.
And
Thomas,
you
would
can also
go ahead and put.
and people can also participate virtually from December the 17th through the 31st. And the run is going to be awesome. The event is going to be timed. So, you'll have a timed event. You can share it with your friends. There will be photographers there at the finish line and throughout the course to take pictures. So you have a free picture. Well, it's not free. You pay for it with the registration, but it's included. I want to make sure I'm transparent there. And so you will have that as you come through the finish line, come through with your family and friends, have refreshments there. Wheelchairs and strollers are welcome. It's an event for the entire family.
Oh, that's good.
There's also a 1 mile fun walk that's free, just to walk. Everyone who's a registered participant will, receive refreshments after the event. You'll have your shirt is included. The official Arutisuse Run shirt is included, and you have the medal, the Arutisuse Run race medal, the finisher medal, and the bib. So those are just some of the perks that you get with registration.
Oh, you hear that? 5K, right? 5K.
Yeah, it's actually the 5K. You can walk it or you can run it. Like I said, people are at these events with baby strollers, and I've actually seen people pushing wheelchairs. I want everyone who wants to participate to be able to participate in this event celebrating our culture.
I am running. I'm getting over it as fast as possible. I can't.
I'll watch it. I'll watch him run it, and I'll walk it. And then when I pass him, because he's passed out halfway there. Like, oh, good job! And I'll keep
running. We to the north yet? Oh, God, this is taking forever. I'm going back to the plantation.
Listen, that's perfectly fine. Cheerleaders are welcome as well. We need that. Tell people, hey, you can do it, you can make it.
Just drinking a beer. You got it.
Yeah, we have volunteer opportunities. If there are children, youths who need volunteer hours, we're giving them as well. So we just hit the website, send an email, let me know or let us know that you would like volunteer opportunities, we'll do that as well. You receive those hours, get some history, have fun, and everybody wins. So
Yes,
All
that's
right,
very important.
looking at you, Gasparilla crews out there who needs those volunteer hours. You know where to come.
there you go.
Just saying, you know where to come.
December 17th, 7:30 a.m.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
I don't have any other questions, but I will.
No, I have a lot of
recommend What
questions,
Florida.
but I know
Right.
we're on a time crunch here,
Yes,
so
we don't want
I'll
to take all
hold
of it.
those
But
off.
we do want to make sure that you come back, though. You've been a great
Of
guest. But before
course.
we do all that, we want to jump into what the
And
Florida.
you're running, right? You're running in the race.
I'm probably not going to be able to run because I have to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Oh, I was looking
I
forward to
have to.
passing
She's
have
gonna be the
to
last.
do this.
She's gonna be the last one across the finish line because she has to be, man. She's like the captain, the first there and the last lead.
Okay.
That's how
All
it
right.
goes.
Yeah.
This is her ship. All right. So as I said before, we're about to play What the Florida. I'm gonna read 3 different Florida stories. Wait till I read all 3 of them before you do your guess. They're North Florida, Middle Florida, or South Florida. Don't get tripped up. They can all be in the same area. So don't.
We gave you the rundown, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm a competitor. I'm gonna tell you. Look, I know your daddy a boxer and all, but look, I'm a competitor. I don't lose in these games. I'm
You
not gonna
don't
lose.
lose. Okay, well, I'm
Listen,
going to try my hand too.
if I'm waking up at 6:30 in the morning to go run at 7:30, you better believe I'll get first play.
And to any of our guest lists, looking at you, Ciroc sister, you beat him every time.
Nah, I blocked
Make
her.
sure to put your guesses in the comments. All right, first Florida story. I'm gonna start off with a nice easy one. I'm gonna start off with an easy one and go back. Florida man. Yeah.
All right.
Florida man football player stops high school football game because of a diamondback rattlesnake.
Okay.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
Start off easy.
That's normal Florida stuff.
Yeah. Athletic director Brian Smart was enjoying last week's homecoming football game against this football team when he got a call from an assistant principal from the visitor's side. You're not going to believe this, he said, but there's a rattlesnake about to enter the field at a 5-yard line. Sports events have been interrupted by a lot of strange things over the years. Just look at the streakers from yesterday's football game or Monday's football game.
I forgot about that.
Protesters, stray dogs, crazed parachutists. So let us raise a toast to this football team versus this football team. It became the first sports event ever interrupted by a deadly man-eating snake. Okay, it wasn't really man-eating. That's just what headline.
I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure Diamondback is not man-eating,
and we would never stoop to such silliness. All right, that's the first story. Second Florida story.
That's an easy one. I feel like I know where that's at.
Well, good, because if you don't, I'm a pick on you.
All right,
I am. I'm a pick on you if you don't. All right, second Florida story. This is one. I had to do this one. Florida football. Make sure I do this right. Florida football fans sparked controversy by setting up makeshift strip club in parking lot ahead of game.
You gotta be the Gators, man. Right. They suck. If your team is garbage, you gotta have amazing tailgates. Because once the game starts, it's gonna be brutal. But continue.
Florida football fans took it in a whole new level before last week's can't say the score for this game. Before last week's game, a video has emerged of strippers dancing in a makeshift strip club outside of the stadium. While music blaring in the background, fans can be seen throwing money and enjoying the company of these dancers as they live life to the fullest in a stadium parking lot on a Sunday afternoon. Like, really? Come on. Reactions on social media were varied, to say the least, with one person commenting, reason number 1 million and something, I don't go to Florida. Meanwhile, one fan took the opportunity to poke fun at their divisional rivals. Literally, everybody has fun in the AFC East except for the Jets. You're not wrong.
You might have gotten away with that one.
No, that's a clue. That's a clue.
All right.
As such, fans will have to wait until October 9th when they host the Nets football team to find out if the parking lot strip club will return.
Now keep in mind, like, so
No
when
citations.
he's
No
reading
citations
this,
were made.
the answer will be in the description. So that's why, like, he'll say football team instead of the name of the team because it'll give it away.
Okay. But we
Last
just
Florida
need to
story,
guess
and
the
this
area, right?
yeah.
this the
It's
area. You
easy.
don't
You got
you
this.
don't have to guess the actual city. This the general area. Final Florida story, and this one I was saving for last. Florida man watching Little League football practice arrested after putting on helmet and tackling a child.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's kind of it's out there.
That's why I saved it for last.
I feel like that would be me if I had a kid. Like, you don't hit my son like that. That'd
Like,
be
you
out
hit
there.
my kid.
I know.
Watch
Oh,
out.
I would have lost
Watch
it.
out.
A Florida man was arrested Thursday and charged with child cruelty after allegedly running onto a Little League football field, placing a helmet on his head, and striking a child last week.
Wow.
David Allen Taylor, 41, was charged with disorderly conduct and cruelty towards a child. According to the arrest report, a deputy was at the football field observing Little League football practice when he saw several coaches arguing with a male on the football field who was the parent of a player, because of course he was. The deputy said Taylor was yelling, cursing, and approaching coaching staff in an aggressive manner. The report said on September 20th, the 9-year-old football players were doing one-on-one tackling scrimmage when one child was matched up with the victim. During the tackling scrimmage, the victim overpowered the other child, and the child started crying. Taylor allegedly immediately ran out onto the football field and was angry due to the child crying. Taylor then got the child's helmet, placed it on his head, and then got in a kneeling stance in front of the victim, according to the arrest report. Allegedly, Taylor then ran and struck the victim in the chest, chest area with the football helmet on his head. Taylor then grabbed the victim by his arms and pushed him several feet, then placed the victim on his back on the ground in an aggressive manner.
Wow,
That's
crazy.
It'd be even weirder if it wasn't like a parent of a child. It was just some random adult that just
wild.
At that point, the deputy said the coaches intervened and Taylor began to arguing with them. Where were the coaches that whole first half of that part where you put on the helmet, got in stance? Why did you intervene at that point?
I'm just saying,
there was definitely enough time to help to do something. Yeah. Definitely.
I'm an exchange student. All right. So since you are a guest, I will let you guess first. Obviously, you want to explain the areas at least?
Yes, the areas are Jacksonville to Pensacola, and everything above Ocala is all North Florida. Ocala and everything below to I-4 is Central or Middle Florida, as we call it, including Tampa, even though we've now been proven by the weather people that we live in South Florida. Just saying. And then everything below I-4 is South Florida, or South.
Okay.
All right. So remember, the first story was the Diamondback snake. Okay.
So that one I would say is I'm not sure which area, like the Pensacola, Tallahassee area is, but I would guess that one is there. The second one with the strip club.
Wait, one second, oh. one at a time. He gets a chance to.
All right.
No, you're good.
So what did she say? Pensacola?
She said Pensacola.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. Let's see. Where would it be a snake at a football game? Where would that? I'm trying to think like I'm not from Florida, but I'm gonna say South Florida. I feel like crazy stuff always happens in South. Right. I'm just gonna go South.
So you're saying South, and you originally said North Florida, correct?
I said North Florida.
Okay, it is in South Florida. It's happened at St. Cloud High School. St. Cloud High School.
You got me with that one,
boy.
And Kissimmee.
It's gonna be a good night. I can feel it. I can feel it. All right, story 2. You can go ahead. That was the
story 2. Story 2 is going to be the strip club at the strip club, the tailgating strip club.
Where would that be? I wonder.
We've got 3 football teams in the state.
So you
got this.
All right, I would say that definitely has to be South Florida.
South.
Okay.
All right. So I was thinking South too, but I don't want to copy your answer. So I'm feeling really generous. I'm feeling a little generous.
If you want to copy, you can copy.
Because I was thinking like Miami Hurricanes because they're really bad, but I'm gonna go with. Oh man, that's tough. Maybe in Jacksonville. Let's go north.
You going north? All right. Yeah. Bonus points if you can kind of name the team.
I'm gonna say who did Jacksonville play? I'm gonna say. Oh my God,
the football team that it happened.
Oh, who did they just play? The Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah. So you saying Jack? But you saying the
I'm saying
Jaguars.
Jackson in North Florida, but it was the Eagles.
I don't even
Eagles
know
fans.
who
I mean,
played, so
I was
all
making
right.
it
I
up.
don't know who played, so I can't
All right,
even.
you got Jacksonville Jaguars, you got Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then you got, of course, Miami Dolphins. Which one of those three teams do you think it?
She said
Say
I would
South.
say Miami Dolphins because South Florida.
say Miami Dolphins. Okay, okay. I mean, you got the Hurricanes. So I'm saying. All right, you are correct. It happened in South Florida, Miami Dolphins.
Okay, well,
Miami Dolphins.
I
It
was
happened in
feeling
Dolphins.
generous because that's what I was for my original
That's
Hey,
what you were
thought.
gonna
I
say.
tried to
Oh,
help
now
you.
that I got it, you were gonna say it
Okay.
now. Sure.
Well, I'm gonna make okay. So last question. Tiebreaker. Okay, last one.
All right, last one. The guy who decided to tackle the other kid who apparently tackled his kid.
All right, what are you thinking?
The grown man who tackled the kid.
I would say that sounds like Polk County, Lakeland. They're always crazy. It's always something crazy there. Super
All right.
crazy.
Okay.
She
Polk
said
County.
she
Might
named
be
the
right on
county.
the
She said
right
Polk
on the dot with this
County.
one. Oh man, I don't know if I can beat that.
Ah.
So I'm gonna go. Oh man, God, that's a good one too. You know, as bad as I want to say Central Florida, because I know that's the right answer, but I'm letting y'all know both right now. I'm purposely getting this wrong, and I'm gonna go with South Florida, even though I know it's in Central Florida. But I'm gonna go with South Florida. Just I'm feeling generous. So what's the answer, Sean?
Well, let's see. Let's see.
You both are wrong. This happened at Escambia County in North Florida. North Florida.
Oh,
All
Pensacola
right,
area.
wow.
okay, hey, whatever. We'll take it's a draw. We'll take it.
Pensacola.
Yeah,
We'll take it.
it.
Nah.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you. So
Wait,
Thank
what
you
is
for
T? What is the guy who lifts the weights? TC Fletcher. He
CT
said we
Fletcher.
can't have a draw. Somebody got to be the baddest.
Somebody,
So
Sean, do
I
you
gotta come
got? Do
back
you
and do
have?
it.
Actually, I mean, you know me. I keep one.
You want to keep a
in
tiebreaker
the
in there? You
chamber.
want to take one more?
I
Okay.
got one in the chamber. I got
All
one in the
right.
chamber.
No mercy
You know?
now. No mercy.
Oh, now that
No
we're
mercy.
talking
I
this.
can't give the whole story, but I got a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Florida man. Nah, this is too easy. This is too easy. That's too easy. Hold on. That's too easy because it was about the guy who filmed the shark in his neighbor's front yard.
I never
was
heard that.
Too easy, boy. Yeah, but he filmed the shark in his front yard. What's going to be your guess?
South Florida. Was that the
That's
answer?
everyone's guess. Yes, I mean. That's
Okay, so why
easy.
you want me to lose then? You said just because I know it.
I got it though. I got it. Here it is. Ready? Here's the tiebreaker. Florida man in the middle of a police chase arrested in the middle of the ocean as he tried to swim away from a helicopter.
What? All right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say Central Florida.
You're gonna say Central Florida.
Final
right.
answer, Central.
All right. So you think the man running away from the helicopter was running away from Central Florida, North Florida, or South Florida? Who's gonna run away into the ocean?
My mind goes to like I'm swimming
in a
Cuba.
helicopter?
I would say South Florida.
All right.
Drum roll.
This actually happened in Tampa.
Let's go!
Oh, so that's Central Florida. Oh, all right. I gotta eat my words.
Off a stolen wallet. He did this off a stolen wallet, and now he's gonna have all these charges.
Well,
you just don't make
Doc.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, I have to come back to. I have to come back for a rematch now.
Well,
you have to come back.
100%.
You got to come back. And don't feel bad. His sister beats him all the time.
Yeah, she does.
She does. So
he's
just feeling big chested now because he finally won one. But Dr. Kenny, thank you so very much for coming to our show. This has been a great interview with a lot of useful information. I want to tell our listeners, make sure you show up on December 17th, correct?
Yep.
Yes, that's correct.
Al Lopez Park
at 7:30 at Al Lopez Park. But before I sign off, Dr. Kenny, if you want to let people know how they can find you, where to follow you at, and how to contact you if they have any other questions or wanted us help lift up your program.
Yes, of course. Okay, so you can reach us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Arutisuse Run, and that's ARUTISUSE Run. And you can also find us with that hashtag And also you can go to the Run website.
Mhm.
So again, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And that is ARUTISUSE.
There we
Colin,
go.
could you make sure it's in the comments?
I had to look
Colin,
at
could
it
you make
like-
sure could you make sure that the spelling of that's in the comments?
Is that I know it's the language, is that still is there a way to find information on that?
Yes, if you Google Arutisuse or if you Google Tut language or Tutanese language.
Tutanese, okay.
Yeah, Tutanese. That's the that's the official, and it is actually listed as a what is it? Actually a national, the American language. So it is a real language, and some people do speak it. Some people actually speak it quite fluently, you know. And if if you listen to it, it sounds like, if you're unfamiliar with it, you would like, what are they speaking?
Oh man, this has been one of the most informative interviews that we've done. I love history, and learning something new is always great. And you definitely made sure I learned something new today. With that being said, you have anything else to rock?
No, I'm just ready for this run, which I will be at.
All right.
And Doc, let us know if we can do anything besides today to help out and spread the word as well.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely be in touch. And thank you all for having me. I really enjoyed this, spending this time with you as well. You know, it's been a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Well, this has been the weekly review at Sean's Rock. I am Sean Akina Torres.
And it's your boy Shark the Mike. Peace. And